a show tonight. Get a little different from the way that most of the shows been going down. Don't do everything with our heart and do it good. We'll be recording live tonight.
About here, ladies and gentlemen. It's the moment that all of you've been waiting for. It's the moment that all of you've been waiting for.
Yo, Al, what's that?
Al Milando is got to be more careful. Al Milando is got to be more careful.
8121 Talk. I have a very special guest, longtime friend from Buffalo, New York. Buffalo, New York. How you doing, Tiny?
I'm doing outstanding.
How long have I known you? We were just talking about that.
It have to be at least 30
plus
years.
Maybe 31. I think around 92.
Yes.
92?
Around 92, yes.
Okay. And we met working
at Leechmere's in the Galleria Mall.
Yeah. You know, Leechmere is my my vast retail experience. That might have been the only salesman job I ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
And that was my first cashiering job.
It was?
Yeah, scared to death to be a cashier.
We used to be in there just doing whatever. But think about it. We, 21, 22?
Oh, yeah.
Trying to figure out what's next. And
yes.
Yeah. Leechmere's, which is in Cheektowaga?
It was in Cheektowaga, yes.
Cheektowaga, New York, which is a suburb
of Buffalo, New York, yes.
Yeah. And I had just got out of the Navy, so I had these expectations of the way I thought life was going to be. Didn't quite work out like that.
Well, we all have these expectations of how our life should be, you know.
Yeah.
But we get these loopholes and these, you know, trials that come along in our lives that, you know, be like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Whoa. What's that? What's that?
I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. But like I said, we met in around 92, somewhere around there. And if I had to ask you the question, like if somebody was just, how would they describe Tiny?
How would they describe?
Who are you? What are you?
I would think a person, a very heartful person, a loving and giving person.
Mm. But what would be that adjective like a stranger would be like, that's Tiny, that, who would you be?
Oh, I would have to say a word. What word would I be?
Which is? Gotta think about it.
Yes, I do. A word.
The way I like to do it is someone saw you from 35 years ago.
It would be Tiny, the basketball player.
The basketball player. You can play?
A little bit something.
You play, give me your average. What was your average?
My average was anywhere between 25 and 45.
Points? Okay, let me do this. We have a celebrity on deck. And you played in Buffalo at, what school was that?
It was Burgard Vocational High School.
Burgard.
Yes.
It's crazy because I actually know most of the high schools in Buffalo. So I know most people that listen to me will be like, Burgard, what the hell is that? But I know what it is.
Right. It was an all boys school up until the year that I came in.
Okay.
And then they started bringing girls into the school to introvert it. So we didn't have a basketball team. We didn't have nothing for girls.
Right.
So I came together with a few girls and I said, hey, you play basketball? And they was like, no. I was like, well, do you want to? They was like, okay. And my homegirl, she was a year behind me. So my freshman year, I didn't do anything except, academic school. My freshman year, when I had her come over, then we was on and popping.
Okay.
You know,
So you
everybody
had-
know Felice Mann from
you-
Burger.
I don't know her.
She was actually, she was in Sports Illustrated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, what's unfortunate about this is you were playing before WNBA and all that stuff. So you guys didn't really have a
Future.
to shoot for like
Yes.
NBA. So it's kind of messed up, man.
Yeah, because my junior year, actually, I broke my ankle
Okay.
and I lost the desire for basketball.
Basketball.
I was like, first of all, I really didn't want to go to college, even though I was going to probably get a scholarship.
We're gonna touch that. We're gonna touch that.
And like you said, the WNBA wasn't there. So
It
I was
wasn't
like,
there.
What?
And it wasn't really much talk about overseas either.
Yes.
Yeah. So I can see why you would look towards something that may be more prosperous, like, man, I'm gonna go to the army or I'm
Yes.
going to college. I get it.
Yes.
It's a bad situation. Now, basketball player. I also heard something else. You said it, but I want to touch it here. I heard you race cars.
Yes. When I was younger, that's what I did for money. My uncle raced at Lancaster Speedway, and he actually died at age 18
Okay.
at Lancaster Speedway.
Okay.
So I have always been around race cars and, stuff like that. So, and I was the only female grandchild.
Okay.
So, I mean, I was a tomboy. So,
Okay. You were basketball player and you were a race car driver, street and on the track,
just
or
street.
just the street,
Just like-
in Lancaster.
Yes. Just like Fast and the Furious.
Okay. See, I didn't know that, and then you said it a while ago, and I'm like, what the? Yeah. Okay. So, may I start by telling you what's always been unique about you?
Yeah.
There was a period when I got out of the Navy and I thought the world owed me more. Right? I did what I was supposed to do. Honorably discharged, all that, X amount of med cruises. I did what I was supposed to do. But when I came to Buffalo, Tiny, I couldn't find a job. So Wendell, who just passed away,
Yes.
um,
Rest in peace.
yeah. He was like, yo, Leachmere's. I don't know if they had just opened.
Yes, they had just opened.
Right.
Just opened.
And he told me to come down and apply. And I mean, we're being honest here. I didn't think I got the job because I was showing no interest, if that makes sense. I'm like,
Yes.
yeah, whatever. But this lady named Connie,
Connie,
Remember
our
her?
boss.
yeah, Connie, she was so pushy with, who are you? Where you from? Oh, you're a cool guy. I thought she was on something else at first, but you remember her, so we don't have
Yes.
to get into that. So I got that job, but coming there wearing the smock and the tie and the slacks, we had to wear slacks, right?
Yes. I believe they was like khaki slacks.
Whatever. I just felt like, dude, I was just a work center supervisor on the USS Guam, and now I'm sitting here going, would you like a Jack LaLanne juicer? You remember? So
right. The juicers
the
was
juicers-
so popular back then.
And you were in Comfort,
The comfort shop.
which is like fans.
Fans.
Yeah.
Air purifiers.
Yeah. And I was in, what did we call it? Small appliance?
Small
Which
small
was
appliances.
like juicers. Remember the convection oven?
Ovens. Yeah, that was real popular.
Back then.
Yes.
So I used to come there, and it just so happened that Wendell worked in the warehouse. If you remember, Wendell didn't work on the floor.
Right.
I had nobody to talk to. But I used to see you over there, and I'm like, damn, okay. Hey, what's up? Just talk. And then we started like talking like every day. Every
Yes.
day. And like you mentioned, it got weird if you wasn't at work.
Right. Like, where Al at? Like, oh my goodness, it's gonna be a long day.
Yeah, and there were some times where I would be like, I wouldn't go to work because inside, I just felt like I was wasting away. So you know what it is. You have to battle that,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
But yeah, that's why I met you, and you've always been cool. But the one thing was, you always had a heart. You always had a heart. you know, sometimes you talk to people and they say too much or they say not enough, would put you in the middle. Like, can I trust this mother? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you always, you know, you always gave just enough. But there was one thing that, if you okay, we're talking about everything.
Yes.
It was
I'm
one,
open.
It was one thing I noticed. I said, well, and I told you I struggled with the word. I could see right up the top that you were
Gay, or what I consider myself a lesbian.
Yeah, it didn't matter, but it was different.
Well-
I didn't have any gay or lesbian friends prior to you.
Especially a female, huh?
Well, that's what I meant. When you say gay, does that mean male and female?
Well, society group us as one, but gay is a gay man and lesbian's woman.
So lesbian. I didn't have any lesbian friends prior.
Yeah.
So you're interesting, but you also have a heart, right? And I've always been, you know, conscious of people's journeys, if that makes sense.
Yes, yes,
Who are you in this moment? Why are you here? Where are you trying to go with this? Like,
yes.
but you being the athlete, the basketball player, the racer, the heart, but your preference, your sexual preference, tell me how that affect you in your journey.
Oh my goodness. It affected me a lot. You know, you had to be a fake person, you know, because in that generation, you couldn't be out and open.
Right.
You
Out
know,
of the closet. So
yes,
right.
you had to stay in the closet. You know, even when I went into the military, I had to sign a form saying that I was not gay. And I struggled with that. Like, I had the pen in my hand and I was like, oh, do I really want to do this?
Right, right.
But I knew that that was a journey I wanted to do because I didn't want to go to college, you know. And when I went to the service and I got a medical discharge, I didn't know what I was going to do. Like, my life was, oh my goodness, like, I didn't plan for this. That's one of those blocks,
Right.
the mountains, you know. And so when I came home, now it's like, okay, what I'm going to do, you know.
That's
and,
for survival and who
Yes.
you want to be, being comfortable with your survival.
Right. With, you know, I would go around telling people, oh yeah, I had a boyfriend, and I would start to
You
slip.
did that?
Oh my goodness,
Daddy,
yes.
I can't see you doing that because ever since I've known you, it is what it is.
Right, but
You feel me?
but everybody, you can't tell your story.
So you saying you could tell me.
I
Okay, all right. I'm
felt,
trying to get a little props for myself right there.
That's right. Give yourself some props,
Okay.
man.
Okay.
You know, you can't tell everybody your story because if you tell everybody your story, that might trap you up. And it goes back to the generation. I had a friend that got gay bashed, and I was like, oh my goodness. That's why I don't like going to straight bars. Because I wouldn't want men be like trying to hit on me. And then I'd be like, no, you know, and then I would have to get to the point where like, listen,
Leave me to.
alone.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
what you like, okay?
You know what's crazy? If I may interject,
Uh-huh.
I went to a club with you before
Yes, we in New York.
in Harlem. Yeah.
Yes.
The
We
waterfront.
went to 2 clubs.
You seem to be pretty comfortable in there.
Yes, because I was with you.
Oh, okay. You was on the dance floor.
And
You
I was,
remember who came in there that night?
yeah, that was Nas.
Nas came
Yes,
in there.
and that's when some went crazy. And,
somebody tried to take his chain.
yeah, and they
it
thought it was a gun.
Pushing, shoving.
Messed up my knee.
And I got outside and I thought about it. I said, where's Tony? And
I was on the floor.
You came out with hurting your knee. But anyway, yeah.
Yes, and so it was just the people that I felt comfortable with, you know, that would not, you know, put my story out there. But
So you hit it.
for a very long time because I wasn't comfortable with me.
Is that tough? Like, because you actually hiding who you are, you're avoiding certain conversations, you're saying certain things. Is that hinder your journey into being who you want to be? Because you can't even get to the starting point because you're hiding.
Yes, you're hiding and you're not even true to yourself. So
Right.
if you're not true to yourself, how can you even understand what your journey or what you want to be?
Who you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was really late. I was in my 40s before I actually was like, okay, listen, this is who I am. If you don't
40s?
like- my 40s.
I thought it was like 30s.
No, 40s. It was in my 40s.
When did you get married?
Ooh, I got married 19 years ago, and I'm 52 now.
Okay. That's late 30s.
Oh, yeah. okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, I remember you got married in Canada.
Well, actually, I got married here in Buffalo.
Well, they're in Buffalo. We in
Yeah.
Colorado Springs. Did I mention that?
Yes.
That you
yes,
here in
and-
Colorado? Okay.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tiny is here in Colorado Springs. She jumped on Frontier.
Oh, well, listen, don't ever go on Frontier.
Yeah. You leaving tonight.
Yes, I'm leaving.
And you have a 9-hour delay.
Yes.
Yeah, anyway, back to that. We don't even want to get depressed.
Right.
But yeah, so when you got married,
It wasn't legal. We did it for us. And then I think, 5 years later,
okay,
it became,
became
legal.
via Obama, right?
Yes,
Okay.
Obama, yes.
Yeah.
And so we got remarried on the same day that we originally got married on, just at the Justice
Right.
of Peace.
Right.
So so technically I've only been married for 9 years, but not legal for 18.
That's crazy when you think about it. Because see,
Yeah.
I don't like talking about certain things and put people's business out there, but you are actually comfortable at this moment in time with who you are.
Yes, very comfortable.
But here's the thing. I can't imagine going through life. You're trying to embark on this journey, but you also got this facade up where you're like trying to hide who you are, your preference, sexual preference, and all that stuff. And then you get to a point where you get with somebody that you care about. We know people before. Of course, I know you, so I know. But we here at this one that you got married to.
Yes.
So then you go X amount of years with it not being really legal.
Yes. It was just from us, our hearts and, our soul to, okay, this is a legal marriage and we're going to treat it like a legal marriage.
Right. But you don't have any of the legal stuff like
No paperwork or,
Insurance,
insurance.
da, da,
Or
da.
if one of us got injured, we couldn't go in the back. We couldn't make decisions for each other or nothing like that.
Okay. So you're in this marriage now. The basketball player, the race car driver. You've been to the Army. You said you got a medical discharge.
Yes.
You're kind of like, what am I doing? Right? So I love this podcast that I watch on YouTube called The Pivot.
Okay.
What was your pivot?
My pivot was when a good friend of mine tricked me into being a correction officer.
Who was that?
Her name was Jolene. Actually, she's my second girlfriend ever.
Yeah, I'm kind of offended right now. I'm going to tell you why. You spoke to me about it.
Yes.
And I remember talking to you going, dude.
Yeah, I asked her, I said, hell, do you want me to be? She asked me to be a correction officer.
Do it.
And you was like,
Do it.
yes, that's
Yeah.
other person.
Yeah.
That's what she is.
Yeah, that's what she is. But I
You
know, because I felt your heart needs to be in there. And we could talk about that some other time. But your heart needs to be in there. When you are a correction officer, you're not the judge.
Right. They already been judged between
been
God
judged.
and the judge already. You're in there for a purpose. You're in there to allow them to see a different way of life than when they went in.
Right.
Listen, even though you're in this dark place, you can make a light from it.
Right.
You just have to take advantage of all the things that's around you, even though it's dark.
Yeah. Yeah.
And my
So I thought your heart would be perfect for that job. I did. I did.
Yeah.
I thought.
I remember.
Yeah. I thought it would be perfect because I knew you wouldn't be the judge and juror in there
Yeah.
talking crazy, and I know that you would give someone an ear, or a shoulder in
because
some cases. Yeah.
I was a counselor to them. I was a mother. I was a big sister.
You still are. You saying was. You still are.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm not inside the facility as much. Because I had over to a recruiter now.
Okay.
So I just do it in a different way. You know, I try to get young Black men and women in this job that have the same heart that I have.
Y'all hear this? Y'all hear all this positivity?
You know, because
I'm asking the people, do they hear the positivity? You hear this? I ain't got no sound effect for that one, but let me ask you this. Pivot is when you became a correction officer.
Yes.
In what way did that make things better? Financially?
In every way possible for me. You know, it gave me an opportunity to have someone look up to me and to the journey that I've came from, to give others a chance to learn from my mistakes.
Well, they can
Financially,
see. Yeah.
my confidence, it exploded because I had very low confidence in myself. And people would say to me, I wouldn't think that about you because I had this facade for so long.
Yeah, you was fasading it up.
For real, you know.
I remember. But your heart is what always shines through. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I also know you had to be something that allowed you to survive.
Yes.
So I got all that. You know what I mean? I got all that, but I never really gave a shit. I'm sorry for cursing. We usually don't curse. I never really gave a shit. It's like, yo, she mad, cool. But you're a correction officer. Go ahead. You was going to say something?
It was like my life was a dark and a sun at the same time. You know, people saw the outer appearance of the sun,
Right.
but behind closed doors, I was dark.
Depressed.
I was depressed. I was unhappy. I was confused. Everything. And I would even go to the point, and I don't know if you remember this, but I called you telling you that I wanted to kill myself.
I remember.
You know?
Of course I remember. We was on the phone for a long time.
Yeah. And
It got there,
yeah.
right? But correction is the pivot.
Yes. It's a turning point, you know.
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to make a difference in someone's life, and that I had always wanted that. I enjoy going to work where it wasn't a job to me. It was just something natural.
Right.
And we was talking about this yesterday, you know, how sometimes I would go to work and talk to these young men, and I'd be like, where in the heck that came from?
From you.
Right. But I was like, that's not me. That's not something that's not how I talk, you know?
Right.
And I would have to look up the sky like, oh my God.
Well, we talk about this sometimes, whether or not you want that seat, but because of wisdom, experience, and whatever, and then you already got the heart, the right things just comes out.
Yeah.
Right? It's not practiced. It's not rehearsed.
Right.
It just comes out.
Yes,
It's
naturally.
Like, because you've seen some things. I mean, we can't talk about every aspect of what you've seen. And one of the main reasons why I'm pushing in this direction, because I know now that you're embarking on something else.
Yes.
Still corrections, but you're embarking on speaking to... you explain it.
I'm not sure if the direction of public speaking or just, writing a memoir.
Memoir.
Okay.
I got you. I'm over here. Memoir.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of, some things like to help someone in their life.
That may have been similar to you.
Yes,
Black woman, lesbian.
And just
Da, da, da.
finding themselves and not having a confidence. You know, because there are three major things in my life right now that have made me who I am.
Okay.
And I would have to say corrections. My divorce I'm going through right now.
I wasn't gonna touch that, but okay.
And the third thing would be I would say turning point of, like the military and just getting to know who I am as a person, and we often go through that in life in general, but being a lesbian on top of that, that takes it to another level.
Yeah, I've always been, not just you, but when I see people and I know that they're, gay, but I also know that they're on stage right now. They're acting.
Yes.
And I always thought, that's got to be tough, man. You can't even get to the get down because you worried about the image and how people perceive you, because perception also goes hand in hand with survival.
Survival, yes.
So it's a real sticky situation.
I mean, because, as being, Afro-American people, we have always been looked at different. We have always had a struggle. So now you add a lesbian on top of that?
Yeah, it's over. Well, perceived to be over.
Yes.
Unless you're strong.
You're strong and you
push through it.
You push through it, and you have to push through it because there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
That is the exact name of this episode. You just took it right from me. And I'm not bullshit. There's always light at the end of the tunnel. That's what I got written there. See? That's why I mess with you, though. But yeah, it's hard.
Yes.
So at this point, you using yourself as a model, you would like to be that comfort to people, not just lesbian or gay or whatever, but to let them know there's always light
at the end of the tunnel. No matter what your struggles are, whatever your journey is, I got this job, corrections, at 43 years old.
Okay.
I'm just now figuring it out.
The job or life?
Life.
Okay.
And when I tell you that it's not a timeline when things are supposed to happen, because when you think you're supposed to do something, I'm supposed to be married by now. No, because God has another plan for you. As we was talking about, God is laughing at you when you think your plan is the plan.
You make a plan while God's laughing.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's so true because, like I said, I wanted to be in the military. I wanted to retire from the military, and that was my plan.
Okay.
But God had something different. Even I have to go back to the military. When I was in the military, I said, God, why would you get me this far and allow me to get out? Because I took the military exam for 10 years straight before I passed it.
May I talk about that, please?
Yes.
Because you are an inspiration. I was around when you worked at Lowe's, and you liked that job, by the way.
Yes,
you
I
worked
did.
at Lowe's or Leechmere, and a few other places that I can't remember right now. But I also remember when the corrections came up, right? And I remember saying to myself personally, that's what's up. You the light. Okay, financially, it's not going to solve
your
problems.
No.
But
it helps.
You can breathe.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I remember all that. But then the thing I'm most proud of you for is I remember your hesitation. I almost lost my voice. I remember your hesitation with school.
Yes.
Yeah. And you told me that you were, and this adds to the journey. If anybody wants to look into, you don't have a webpage yet, do you?
No.
You got to get one. But you told me you were dyslexic.
Yes. Dyslexic. I read at a 5th grade reading level, and I have reading comprehension issues.
Right. But you know what you did? You got that motherfucking degree.
Yes, that was
Round of
yes.
applause for you. You got that. And I
Yeah.
remember, you know,
Yes.
I remember you sent me your paper
Yes.
and you asked me to read through it. And I remember saying to myself, you all right. It wasn't the skill set, it was your confidence.
Yes.
You're all right. Yeah,
Yeah.
it might take a little bit longer to write it out, but you there.
Yes.
I remember that. That's what I'm most proud of it. I wasn't gonna bring that up, you know.
Yes.
But I guess at times you have to be honest. I think you have to be honest with people when they're listening to you,
Yes.
so they can see themselves within that.
Yes. And
Yeah, go ahead.
and that's what I will say about being a recruiter, because a lot of times the first thing people say to me, well, I'm not a good test taker. I'm not good at reading. I said, listen, you are looking at the person that,
The poster child.
yes, you know, listen, I would tell them my journey and they would be like, wow, really? I said, yes.
You were so uptight back then about dyslexia. and
Oh my goodness.
You were so uptight. And I'm not gonna front. Sometimes I used to want to go, yo, shut the. Nobody want to hear that. Like, just do it. Just do it.
Yes.
Get in there. If they fail you, you come right back.
Yes, and that's what I did. And
Yeah.
you know, and I have to tell you, I'm $50,000 in debt for
School.
school because I did what you said. I failed, I got back up. I failed, I got back up,
You know,
but I finally did it.
we had an episode a while back. I don't know if you heard it. We were talking about, was education necessary?
Yes.
In this category, education was not necessarily for your survival. It was necessary for your self-esteem.
Self-esteem and my
Yeah.
soul, yes.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I didn't do that for no one else but me.
you, yeah.
Just
and,
me.
And believe it or not, you got your associate's degree,
And physical education.
physical education. Did I have mine before you?
Yes.
Okay. This is how it works. You lean on people.
Yes.
I got my bachelor's degree. I don't know. Between bachelor's, master's, somewhere in there, you crossed my mind. And you might not laugh at this. You might. I said, this motherfucker, I can do this shit too. What are you complaining about, Albert? Like,
Right.
get in there and do it. So I had you in mind.
Okay.
Like, because I remember, right? So if I'm sitting up in a classroom and they asking me to write this 3,000 word paper, and I'm sitting there going, man, listen, I'm not built for this. But then I would think about like you sending me that paper and go, yo, go over this for me.
Yes.
It's kind of weird. When it's someone else's paper, the pressure's not on you.
Right.
So you're able to read and say, okay, this, that. Follow me here.
Yes.
But when it's your paper,
Oh, it's a
The pressure's on
different
you.
it's a different ball game.
I programmed myself to tap in when there was no pressure involved.
Okay.
Think about what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's my paper, but it ain't my paper.
Right.
This paper is mine, but it's not mine.
Just you're acting like, okay, I'm just looking at it for over time. This is Tiny's paper, but it's my paper.
Somewhat, but I'm
Right,
also, you mentioned a second ago that someone may have mentioned or something that they have problems taking tests.
Yes.
I was able to remove that by using what me and you used to talk about as an example.
Okay.
Like, it's still my paper and everything going on. Bottom line is, it ain't that serious.
Right. Right. And you know, when you finally get that piece of paper, you be like, wow.
I did it. Yeah, I
Like,
did it.
You did it, and you be like, why was I tripping over this?
That's what I'm talking about.
You
You have
know?
to find that in your mind and say,
Right.
it's really not that serious. Like, it's serious, but not enough for me to give myself a heart attack.
Right.
Right. It's not that serious. By the way, guess who get their degree next month?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Got to be more careful.
Yes.
She getting that degree next month.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes she get caught up because Erlandius is, can I say intellectual?
Yes.
Intellectual. So she got to have the 3.9s. And me, I jumped out of that early in the game. Let me tell you, I jumped out of that so hard, right? I didn't care. But then I still ended up being valedictorian.
Wow.
And I still had the honors and everything.
Wow.
The minute I said, just let it be. Right.
So here we are, 3 of us, honor rolls or dean list and up.
Yeah.
Because I bust my butt to get that 4.0.
Long way from 1992, ain't it?
Oh my goodness.
Man, long way.
Long way.
And I would never think I would be living in Colorado. You probably would never think you would be
A correction officer. I wouldn't. Listen, I never thought that my life would be right where it is right now.
After, well, can we say post-marriage?
Yes.
Post-marriage, correction officer.
Yes.
You got that electric thing sitting in front of your house? Can we talk
Yes,
about that?
yes.
You got that electric thing sitting in front of your house? You know, boom. Yeah,
You
I drove
know,
it. Yeah.
new car, new apartment,
Yeah.
new life.
Yeah.
You know, I actually feel like if I like I've been rebirthed. You know,
A rebirth, right.
yes. I mean, because when you go through, and it's probably for another cast, but when you go through what you go through in life, your journey, and still come out at the end with a good heart. Like, you know, a lot of people, when they get hurt over a relationship, they harden, I ain't gonna love nobody no more, and they be hard. Or if they a failure, you know, they don't get back up and try it again, you know. And I am so proud of myself to still have my heart. My heart is still the same way as when you first met me, Al.
Right.
You know, I've gone through several emotional abuse relationships, you know, failures and stuff, and just obstacles. What's that word?
Obstacles.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you trying to say?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And, you know, and trying to kill myself and not having confidence in myself, and still at the end
Right.
have the heart that I have.
What I've always hated, my mother, you know, used to talk to me about this, was the sad part is when you become what you think you have to be to survive.
Yes.
So when my mother used to talk, you know, I used to say, Mom, you too nice to everybody. They always getting over on you.
Yes.
You know? And my mom used to say, the minute that I alter who I am to stop them from getting over, they won, because I changed.
Ooh,
So you have to stay who you are. Just find better people
right.
around you and find better situations and whatnot. I mean, it don't work for me all the time, but
Yes.
it's there. It's on my mind, like, you know. But your end game, if you had to sum your journey, I mean, and we didn't get too deep, but I'm sure people understand. But if your end game, your summary, you came in as the basketball player, the race car driver, and all this stuff, and military and marriage and pivots and turns and correction officers. But at the end of the day, what do you want to leave behind?
I would have to say, that I would love to leave behind several things. One, to know that I helped people in their lives, to make a difference in their life. I would like to leave behind that no matter how hard it gets, how dark it gets, never give up. Because all that is a journey to help you become who you are in life. You know, it is, and it definitely, you know how people say, well, won't kill you or hurt you, it will make you stronger.
Right.
That is definitely true.
Right.
Because it had made me a lot stronger. but you have to live in a life that you have to be true to yourself at all times.
Right.
Because when you change who you are, that's when you start destroying yourself,
Right.
you know. And that's what this world tries to do. It tries to destroy you. But you have to be strong enough within yourself to say, okay. And I think that's what, you know, I'm proud of, you know, like,
That's your legacy.
yes, I have not changed who I am,
No matter how tough it was.
no matter how tough it was. And, you know, when people used to say to me, even through going through my divorce, well, take her for what she has. And I'm like, listen, I don't want nothing from her. I will have to, if I have to start all over, that's what I'm going to do, because
I'm from that school too.
my heart,
I don't want that. Like,
right,
yeah.
like it's material things. Like I can always get that again, but you cannot
Peace.
peace,
Yeah.
your dignity, your soul.
To walk, like my Uncle Alfred used to say, to walk out of the house and be able to stand on your porch and see the world without worrying about someone impeding that.
Yes.
Meaning ain't nobody looking for you because you ain't did nothing.
Do
to
no-
them.
you
It's
didn't do
one
nothing
of the
wrong to them.
greatest feelings on the planet.
Yes. Yes.
So if I have to cut some things to be free, if I have to cut that string so I can float and be free, it will happen, which is why I have that tattoo right there. That's let it go.
Yes.
Like but yeah, I follow what you said. So your legacy is that you want to be an example to people, to let them know there's always light
At the
at the
end
end
of the tunnel.
I can dig it, man.
Yeah.
I can dig it. So what you gonna do when you go back to Buffalo tomorrow? You'll be there tomorrow.
Yes.
What you gonna do?
You know, that's funny that you mentioned that. I'm gonna start doing some writing.
Memoir.
Yes.
Memoir.
Yes.
Memoir. I
Yes.
think you would have an interesting memoir. You know, you guys, I mean, we can't touch them all, but you got so many interesting things where I think a heartless person there would have been different outcomes.
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. I hope you follow what I'm saying.
Yes. Yes.
A heartless person in some of the situations that I've known you've been in would have ended up in murder.
Yes.
It would have ended up somebody getting hurt, right?
Yes.
And there were times when you probably dropped your head and cried.
It was not some,
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of times.
But now you know that was strength. See, people will confuse and say, because you cry, whatever, it's weak. No.
Right.
It takes strength to say, I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not going to bust your head to the white meat and leave you stinking in the street.
Right.
You feel me? Just, it's strength. But I'm sure you...
Or to mistreat you in a way that's going to belittle you.
Make you feel like nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, because that's happened to me plenty of times.
Yeah.
And I could not, in my heart, could not do that to another human being, especially someone that I love.
I remember walking down Amsterdam Avenue. I had left Barry's house and you called me. And it was one of those times, like, you hear people all the time, but this time I heard you loud and clear. You were experiencing what I like to call an identity crisis. You know who you are, but within that situation, you didn't know what you were.
Yes.
And you were like, I'm not smart enough. I don't make enough. You remember this?
Yes.
And I was like, I've been there before. Like, you feel like you kicked when you're down.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a situation where, say, if it's you and the significant other and all these people come around and you being yourself, yo, what up? But you can't really because your significant other's
Looking at you like
you fake.
Yes.
Or-
You don't be doing this when we behind closed doors.
Yeah, you had all that going on at that point. And
Yes.
I no matter what I said, I knew one thing. You had to figure that out.
Yes.
I always said, get the fuck out of there.
Right.
And
Pull the Band-Aid off.
And you would say, man, I ain't like you. Remember
Right.
you used to say that?
Yes.
But you are. Because I stayed somewhere for 21 years. It's just that we were talking to each other on different
Levels.
ends. right? I'm already a little more advanced into it, but I'm the same person. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes.
I might be in year 15 and you might be in year 2, 3, 4, but I already been there, which is why I'm at 15.
Right.
Mine didn't have the heart to walk away because of what I was missing as a child. And you know,
Same here.
yeah.
Same
so
here.
I tried to hold on.
Hold on to that that love, is when you search for that love. And that goes back to, not having two parents in the household, because the father for a child, for a female, teaches that female how to be respected, how to be treated. And
Most importantly, how to process.
yes.
Yeah.
And when you don't have that, you search for that in other people.
And for some people, it take 5 years, some people 20 years, some people 40 years. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
And it took me a while to realize that even though I would tell other people that, I had a hard time processing that within myself.
Right.
Right.
Right. It's tough. I'll say this, then we gonna cut it off. Right?
Okay.
Oh, it's tough processing things when you can't be who you are. It's tough processing things when there's a stain of maybe some abuse
Yes.
that went on. It's tough. It's tough processing that. But then the heart, in your case, is the difference. And the difference is I'm not a thug. I'm not a killer. I'm not a thief. I'm not all of this stuff. There will be light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
Take care of yourself. And I know you've had some, diabetes and different things. But I don't want people to say, damn, dyslexic, diabetes, blah, 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 lesbian. No, that's life.
Yes.
And I think you are not defined by those things. You're defined by how you handle them.
Yes. How you handle them, how you come out at the end of the tunnel.
Right. And I don't want to be Reverend Southall right now, so I'll back up. But I do have to say this before we get out of here. You gonna let your mother hear this?
Yes.
Hey, Miss Linda. Miss Linda?
Yes.
Miss Linda? What up?
Mama.
Mama, what up? I actually met your mother out of all this time for the first time. And what I say? I said her aura.
Yes.
Like some people you just go around and it's like, okay. But some people you go around it's like, yeah, I gotta watch this guy. Like, but yeah, your mother seems like I brought her up for a reason. Your heart is directly connected to
My mama.
your mama heart.
Yes.
And some people are born with it. Some people have to learn it and acquire it. But I think you're born with it. You get it from your mama. Right?
Yes, definitely.
48 minutes of get to know Tanya. One of my friends has been around for a while. I mean, you are second to Wendell, And, with Wendell, passing away last month, right?
Yes.
You're number one in the Western New York area. Of course, I got people, other places I've known longer, which you've met some of them Swedes.
Yes.
But it's been great.
Yes, it has. Yes, it has.
We'll get to another podcast after you start writing your memoir.
All right.
We have to do that remotely via the phone.
Okay.
There's a very good chance I'm not going to Buffalo again. There's a very good chance.
No, but listen, I will be coming out here again.
Okay. Because it's not Buffalo, it's Frontier. They not right.
They not right at all.
I don't know why they gave me that little table behind it.
That wasn't a table.
I don't know what that was.
That wasn't a table.
Little notebook holder. I don't know what it was.
That was smaller than a notebook holder.
I don't know why I got to measure my bag and like this thing before I get on. All that wasn't right.
No, what wasn't right was when they charge you $69 to check your bag in.
For what?
No carry-on. They charge you for a carry-on and underground carry.
So it's not nothing personal, and we're going to talk about this on the next episode because we're doing an episode with Alondius where we're going to talk about Buffalo, the experience for us. I love Buffalo food. Let's not do it right now.
Yes.
It's my favorite food all over.
All right.
So it's nothing personal. it was purely the traveling. I'm 55 now, so 20 plus hour drives is just not happening.
Listen, I understand.
And if you get on a plane, it has to be, they got the
Comfy.
movies cracking, they got a little food for you. None of that is
that.
happening on Frontier. It's,
Right.
It's like, and I'll end it with this. It's like what I was telling you the other day, when it's like a friend coming to pick you up and say, yo, well, let's roll. And then you get in the car, yeah. Then you turn the corner, he go, yo, you got money for gas? Like, what kind of soul plane is this? All right, we out of here, man.
Ouch.
We're gonna have a real show tonight. Get a little different from the way most of the shows have gone down. Do everything with our heart and do it good.
It's Alan Laundry. It's got to be more careful.
We'll be recording live tonight.